My name is Mike Foster, the Entrepreneur's Mentor, and welcome to my latest interview series, A Zoom With. I regularly share my thoughts via my video snippets on my YouTube channel, but this is a series of interviews to introduce you to trusted experts with a view of them sharing their thoughts and their tips with you. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Ali Bell from Fitbox. Ali is an advanced level boxercise instructor who helps us to get the endorphins flowing and relieve those stress at home or in the workplace. And I look forward to exploring with Ali a little bit further about what she brings to the table under her new brand, Fitbox. Welcome, Ali.
Thank you very much, Mike. It's lovely to be here, although I don't think I need to say anything else because you've just said it all. But it's really great to be here, and thank you so much for having me. I look forward to sharing everything I'm doing on Fitbox with you. It's a bit cold though,
today. Cool. Yeah, the weather's certainly setting. So just to kick off, Ali, just to expand on that a little bit, tell us a little bit about Fitbox and what it is that you do and why you set that business up.
Thank you. Yeah, well, so I did it during lockdown, which is probably a bit mad, and a lot of people will say, "Are you mad?" And yes, I obviously am. I did my boxercise last year. I actually did boxing about 10 years ago, and just loved it. The endorphins. My friends. I went to a dinner party afterwards, and my friends just said I was climbing the walls or bouncing off the walls, one of the two. None of them could keep up with me, and it just made me realise how good I felt after doing something such as boxing. Then I just sort of got waylaid, and 10 years on decided to do the advanced boxercise and boxercise license, and started classes last year. It was always on my agenda to start Fitbox. I registered the business, but it just never really got round to it. You know, it's one of those things, isn't it? You just let's do it, and there's never a right time, and other businesses picked up with other things, and it was just so lockdown really made me realise that there was an opportunity there for people to get fit, to have some fun. No one was able to go out, so we could do things online. I had taken my local classes online, so I thought, well, now there's a perfect opportunity to do the business side as well. And that was it really. So during the summer, I didn't do anything but online classes, obviously, because of lockdown. And develop my website and set up all the IT and that type of thing, bit of business planning and brainstorming, and then launched everything in September, and no looking back. I've got to be honest, I'm absolutely loving it. It's hard work. I wish I'd done it not when I was 52, but when I was 30 or 25, because my body aches. I'm doing about 9 classes a week at the moment online, and it's just groans every morning. But I get up, shake it off, and it's good fun. It's really, I love it. That's all I can say. I love it.
So it sounds then that although you may feel that looking back you could have been mad setting up in lockdown, you feel it's been a good choice for you?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I know from a business perspective, I think from a personal or consumer perspective, it's definitely been very, very worthwhile for a lot of the people that do my classes. From a business perspective, I've had a lot of interest, and I have done some tasters with businesses already. But they have an awful lot of other things going on at the moment. There is so much going on with furlough, with are we in lockdown, are we not? But generally, I know that businesses are interested in talking to me. It just takes time. It's probably going to be some of them are later in the year now. Some of it is going to be earlier in the new year. But from the team's perspective, and this is what I'm sort of talking about from the business perspective, is with teams, working with teams and team building activities. So many people have been working from home. So many people are not used to doing that. I'm lucky in that respect. I am, like yourself. And so we get on with it. We don't interact as much with people generally on a daily basis. But if you're coming from an office and you've been used to communicating with your team members and having a chat around the photocopier in the kitchen over a coffee, all of that has gone, and people are missing that. I know Oxfordshire Mind said that they have never been so busy because people are struggling with loneliness, with mental health issues. And I think that's going to be, well, it's always been an issue, but it's going to be a much bigger issue going forward. But also, I think teams are going to be working from home a lot more. I think, if nothing else, lockdown has shown us that companies can operate remotely. But that gap has to be filled. The teams have to be able to interact from a distance as well as in situ in their offices. and some forms of camaraderie, of competitiveness, of exercising together, drills, races, all of that. It just creates a fun atmosphere. And I think all businesses will be looking at some form of activity to encourage teams to interact differently. And I'm hoping that they will come to me.
But that was certainly a point that I wanted to sort of go through in a bit more detail with you, because I think if I sort of relate to you, yeah, you're doing your online courses, you're doing your local classes, I probably get an idea about what's going on in those classes. But what about from a business perspective, the idea of these team building events? How would that work? What sort of things would you include?
We're all children at heart, let's be honest. So so I'm adapting lots of children's drills that I know, and children's races and adults exercises. I'm adapting it into relay races. There's something called the gun run is one of the exercises that I do. There is I did this morning, I did a taster on LinkedIn, and this was the fireman's ab crunch. I have no idea. I mean, what is a fireman's ab crunch? But I'll demonstrate for you. We have a kick pad here. I said, fine, stick that on your shoulder. That's your fireman's lift, so to speak. Do 10 running on the spot. Then drop it down, go into a sit-up position, putting this between your legs, and then do some crunches. You could then hand it to somebody on Zoom and say, right, you're my partner, you take that, now you do the same. Or if you're in a room together, you could just relay up and down. So there are lots of different ways of interacting from a team building perspective, racing on the numbers of punches. I know you did one online with me in the summer as well, and it got really competitive. And people start to shout. I did do one last week, and everyone looked very nervous. It was like, my goodness, who's she? She's come on at the end of this session. What's she going to do to us? It's like, I'm absolutely fine. No need to be scared. Within 3 minutes, a couple of them had said, oh my goodness, I've got boxing gloves, I forgot. They went to get them. They were talking, they were pairing up, and I couldn't split the teams up actually in the end, because there was some winning teams and some less winning, but they just all got so competitive. By the end, they'd all won different races in one way or another. They were shouting at each other nicely, of course, calling out punches. It was just, I think somebody else had one of the team members had somebody in the house downstairs, and they just said, what on earth is going on? You're supposed to be on a coaching call. It's, oh, we're doing exercise. So it was just, I mean, I left that session feeling fantastic. So I hope they did. Well, the feedback so far has been they did. So let's hope they did. But
it's interesting you allude to that, because that's certainly how I felt when I came to do the taster with you. And I got paired with Sarah Fletcher, who's a little bit competitive, should we say? So yeah.
Really?
but it made it warm. It made it a warmer environment, I guess, in terms of feeling comfortable, because you were sort of sharing that experience. And that little bit competitive is in all sport, isn't it?
Yes.
You love it through. So do you sort of have some sort of structured plans, or do you very much personalize it to the business you're talking to if you're doing some sort of team building stuff?
It's very much it's much more bespoke. Obviously, I have generic things that I can roll out if people, depending on what people like to do and how they like to operate. At the moment, it really has to be Zoom. It cannot be contact. We cannot even pad anybody. But I do offer bespoke classes, bespoke ideas, bespoke activities. Can be anything from an hour up to a whole day if a business wants that. And it depends on the size of the business and how many people they want to include. And it's not for everybody. I mean, let's be honest, it really isn't. And that's fine. I get that. People do other things too. But I do think that when you start a boxercise class with Fitbox, or with anybody, let's be honest, it doesn't have to be me. It releases the stress. Your shoulders drop. I had a lady come to one class, one of my local classes. She was very, very nervous, and she was padding me. This was obviously when we could all see each other. And her face, within 2 minutes, there was just a smile on her face. It was like, oh my goodness, I'm loving this. And she seemed very timid at the start, but she wasn't by the end of it, I can tell you. It's just, I think people are scared, but realise at the end of a session that it's a lot of fun. And that's it really. I mean, that's all I can say. It's just great fun. You've got to give it a try.
And you know, for me, I was looking at a website run by a local entrepreneur recently, and it was really good to see your business alongside some of the what I class traditional team building things. I think it just sort of stood out from the crowd and gave you a little bit of sort of difference for things for people to change, but in a way where you could really relate to, you know, how you can build, I guess, sort of exercise and well-being into sort of team building exercise. And it's that well-being piece that I wanted to talk about next, which is the well-being and the mental health, which I guess generally has always been a prominent factor, but more so with the impact of COVID. So what do you advise people to help them overcome such situations and issues?
Everyone is going to say something different. My advice is do something that you enjoy to do to alleviate the stress. It can be boxercise, it can be going for a walk, it can be surround yourself with plants. I think everyone has to keep active. I think that's really, really important, but to do something they enjoy is even more important. Communicating with friends, communicating with team. I know Zoom is hard for a lot of people, and I think it's going to be the future, or certainly a 50% part of the future going forward is my view anyway. But I think from a well-being perspective, it's stay active, try and get some fresh air, try and eat well, surround yourself with people who care and love you, but make sure you do speak to somebody every day as well. I mean, that's a key thing. I mean, there's nothing worse than being at home on your own for anybody, and this goes for everybody from whatever age. I mean, I know there are an awful lot of people struggling at the moment, and that's really tough. Well-being in the office space, I think, is also really key, because I think colleagues need to be communicating with retrospective employees and staff members and team members. I think it's really important that they have an informal chat every week. Doesn't have to be a business meeting about this, that, and the other. They should perhaps just have a cup of coffee over Zoom in the workplace, or in the Zoom place, so to speak. There are lots of different ways. It's just about being creative. I know that with Fitbox and the idea of team building, I don't believe that there's anyone else that does it. Could be totally wrong. I know that fitness people go into offices and they do classes, but whether or not it's been adapted by others, as far as I'm aware, it hasn't, to do the team building. But it's just being creative, and I'm not the most creative person in the world, but when it comes to exercise, I just love it, so I just try. And I think that's probably what the best thing to say is, try and be creative in the things that you do during the day that just make you smile for a short while even. I mean, you know, we shouldn't be miserable all the time. We should be happy. We're here for a purpose. We're here to have some fun. So try and make every day count.
And that's really why I mentioned the endorphins when I was introducing you earlier, because, you know, it's impactful, isn't it, in that way. And, you know, for me, you know, I did that taster session with you. I signed up to your online courses. Admittedly, I don't attend live. I tend to have to watch them recorded in my own time. But I'm totally energized by the energy that you bring to the room, even before we start exercising, if you like. And then, yeah, admittedly afterwards, I'm thinking, why did I do that? But, you know, ultimately, it's I know it's been good for me over lockdown to keep going. So I'm going to put you on the spot now. Show us some of your moves, as they say. So your
team building move.
Team building move, or your 1 to 8 that you share with us on our sessions.
I can do. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just change you to a different camera, and I can stand up properly and look up at you this time. That's better. So I won't put the gloves on. So let's do it. This would be a race, basically. So we do 1, 2 punches, 10, running on the spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want me to go all the way up to 10?
Oh, why not?
No, it's one way of warming up. That'll do. 8. Go on, I'll do 10. I'll go to 10, and then that's it.
Okay.
I haven't got my gloves on. It really hurts.
Take it easy.
So that is a 2 to 10. You'd be racing somebody on the Zoom. You then go, I'm out of breath now. You then go back down to 2 again. Done some other ones. You can do an accumulator 1, and then I just call to you. You do 1, 2. I do 3. You do 4. That's where the shouting goes on a lot. A lot of people interacting. We do something I call grenade, where I can ask them to shadow box. So you got me going now, so I won't stop. This could be a very long video. Got me going. So you punch, then I'll shout grenade. Everyone drops to the floor, gives me 5 press-ups. No, I'm not getting to the floor. We do other things like crouching tiger. Again, it's a bit of fun, a bit like musical statues, actually. So go back to the children's story. Punching, punching, punching. I shout crouching tiger. Everyone goes like this. The first one who actually falls over, because as we get older, we're less stable, let's be honest. So the first one to move is out, or not. It can just be fun. It can just be a drill that I just do. Yeah, lots of different things. I could go on and on, and you know I will, so I won't. But there are lots of things like that.
I must admit, if I was having to do that that Karate Kid pose, I would be the first one to fall over.
I've got in my classes, I've actually got people now saying, right, I stand on one leg for a minute and do the punching, and it's really surprising how hard it is. It's good for you. It's good for you.
And the thing I like about the 1 to 8, you know, you've got the straight punches that we talk about, but then you've got the hooks and 2s, 3s and 4s, the uppercuts, all that sort of
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's 1 2s, so your jab and your cross, your 3 4s, your hooks, then to the ribs, your uppercuts, 7 8s. I mean, I do technique as well. I've got a technique video on YouTube, on Ali's Box Size Tame is actually the YouTube channel, and I share quite a few videos on there. But yeah, no, I mean, there are lots of different, we do routines. I also do kickboxing, so I throw in some kicks, some roundhouse, some front kicks, some side kicks, just to spice it all up a bit as well. So a session would be a few drills and games, as well as a little bit of fitness thrown in as well, just to spice it up, just to keep people interested.
So just going back to your team building that you mentioned, what would you advise anybody that's interested in a team building with you?
Just message me, contact me, alison@fitbox.org.uk, or my website is fitbox.org.uk. I have to remember that slowly. Or message me on LinkedIn, email me, and we can discuss a taster or a session. I mean, like I say, I'm very, very flexible, much to probably your dismay as a business coach. I'm sure you'd say you shouldn't be as flexible as I am, but I am. I try and accommodate everybody's needs. And that's what business is all about, isn't it? Really, it's making sure that your client is happy and that they get the best out of their investment. So I am there to provide a service, and that service is team building for businesses, staff, employees, teams, colleagues, whoever would like to join.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ali. Love it. Love your energy that you bring to the call and the discussions and the sessions that I have with you. Much appreciated. Thanks for spending some time with me today and sharing your thoughts with us all. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Mike. Love to see you. Take care.
So please subscribe to my YouTube channel and get notified each time I publish a new interview. And I'll see you next time with a Zoom with whoever's next.